there are three primary fundamentals that I work with. The first one is around desire, and desire as in, what do you want? Not just desire as in like a moment of arousal or a moment of lust, right? Because that's temporary. It's a moment in time. It can be very situational. It can be about, some really beautiful person that you're seeing out in the world. It can be about like, you just came from the gym and it's a hot day or a hot moment and you're feeling heat in your system, right? So I don't mean desire like that. I mean desire as in your vision. What is your vision for your sexual life? What is your vision for your sexual identity, your sexual being, your how you relate to yourself as a sexual person, right? That is the element that's really powerful, because when you have a vision and you know where you're going, then you have a roadmap, you have a template, you can course correct, you can, step left, step right, and be like, oh, I don't like this over here, but this is where I want to go. So I'm going to get back on the path, right? It's the same way that, when the GPS is talking to you and it's like, you need to take a U-turn, right? But if you're not putting in an address, if you're not putting in any kind of destination, if you're not clear, and what I mean by desire is how do I want to feel? How do I want to feel my body? How do I want to stand? How do I want to look? How do I want to breathe? How do I want to think about myself? All of those things. In addition to, you might have a vision for a particular type of person, like the qualities of your lover. The qualities of your lover may be like, not only somebody that's humorous and somebody that has a certain kind of bank account, but maybe it's like they have a really loving, open, honest relationship with their mom, or like they look at me and they're hungry to talk to me. They're hungry to reveal themselves to me because they really want me to know them, right? So what is the vision that you have? And I think that clarifying your vision is a thing that you do over many, many times in your life, because what turned you on at 22 and what you wanted in relationship at 22 is probably not the same thing that you want at 42, and definitely not the same thing you want at 62, right? Because everything changes. Our body changes, our mind changes, our level of experience increases. And so we come to the table as a different person over time. So desire is the big thing. Desire, vision. The second piece is about coming home to your body. It's about being friends with your body. So sometimes it's like the technical skills of learning how does your body work? This is the kind of form and function that we talked about earlier, which is like, this is how babies are made. And this is how you put a condom on a banana, on a penis. And this is how your genitals operate. And this is what happens when you touch your clitoris, right? But the other part about coming home to your body is actually befriending it. It's saying like, this is the only body that I have. This is my, this is what I'm up to. This is how I think, how I live, what practices I do in order to accept who I am right now. As in like, when I look in the mirror, I see that's my body. I've got two arms. I've got longish hair. I've got a long nose. You can really be in at least a neutral relationship with your body, rather than when you look in the mirror, you're like, I hate this. I hate that. This is to this, that's to that. Like, if you're in a deficit relationship with your body, a negative relationship with your body, then it's very difficult to go from negative to positive, from negative to in love. So I really love and have a strong value on neutrality, landing in a neutral place. And that actually, landing in a neutral place and anchoring into neutrality actually creates a lot of space for us to create positivity. So coming home to your body and all that, it's like, it's embodiment practice. It's about, defining, if your vision is, I want to feel happy or passionate or caressy or silky or smoothie, then your body is going to want to do something different. It's going to want to feel something different than, say, if your vision is wild tiger running through the jungle, eating my prey. Like, you're going to be up to something different in each one of those scenarios. So coming home to your body is really about building that relationship and feeding it activities and sensations and play that correlate with those different desires that you have. So I talked about vision, desire, I talked about body. And so the third part is your voice. The third part is your voice. And every single one of these elements are ones that I go into very deeply with my clients. And in my Mastering Desire program, we unpack all three of these, do lots of practices, and go even further. But a thing that's really important about the voice is that we take our desire and we take our relationship with our body, and then we put it into vocality. We actually use our voice to communicate. Sometimes that's me talking to myself in the mirror. Sometimes it's like, I am my own best hype woman. You know, like when I look into the mirror in the morning, I have a choice. Am I going to say, wow, you have a zit and you're really ugly? Or am I going to say, oh, there's a little inflammation and we're just going to spackle it with some makeup and like move on with our life and feel good about who we are, right? That voice is incredibly powerful. Is the same voice that says, you know, hey, sweetheart, when I'm talking to my sweetheart, you know, this is what really worked for me last night in our lovemaking. I really loved it when you looked me in the eye and you told me that I'm gorgeous. Or, hey, this is what doesn't work for me. What didn't work for me is when you touched me between my legs when I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't open. I didn't really like, my legs were still pretty close together and you kind of went for it, but I wasn't ready. That voice is really powerful. And so, you know, how we wield our voice will really shape how we experience ourselves and how we experience somebody else. So if something that's on your mind is how do I create safety, then these three key elements are your fundamentals. If you're somebody who's thinking, okay, this shit that I've got is going pretty good, how do I make it better? Then you wield these three. You get intimate with this part of your own self, your own identity, desire, body, and voice. And when you have clarity about who you are, then it becomes exceedingly easy for you to share who you are with other people, because now you're not guessing. Now you're not trying to figure it out with them in the moment. You're actually saying, this is what I want. This is who I am. This is what I like. And this is exactly what I want from you. And so you can go from I'm stumbling in the dark and I'm struggling to figure it out into, hey, I'm really unapologetic about what I'm up to, right? And if you want to get with me, that's really awesome. Here's the criteria, right? Here's what we get to do together. Here are the parameters. I mean, that is a state of empowerment that actually allows you to be in a kind of relationship that you want to be in with yourself and with somebody else. And it actually gives the other person really clear information for them to actually choose in to be with you, or to choose that maybe you're not the right person for them. And wow, wouldn't you want to know that really early on in a relationship than many years in? And maybe even if you are many years in, you coming to clarity actually creates an opportunity for your partner to get clear too. So now you can up-level your relationship together.